4 wins in your last 6 games will do that to you. And tonight, mood around the Oilers. Mood around the Oilers. 4 wins in your last 6 games will do that to you. And tonight, the Edmonton Oilers have a chance to show their improvement and their work ethic against one of the heavyweights of the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mar.10 gets the start tonight. He is 1-4-1 in his last 6, 4 goals against or more in 4 of those games. Down to the other end is 32-year-old Victor Foss, who has started 4 of the last 6, 3-1 over that span, but he is still looking for his first win here on home. Take a picture of the referees, Dan O'Halloran and Graham Skillner. Brad Hansich and Mark Wheeler will be your linesmen tonight. Sidney Crosby plays just his 4th game in Edmonton. His last game, January 10th of 2014. He does not come here very often. So the fans will be treated to the rare sighting tonight at Aero Pack Arena, playing just his 6th NHL game.
There'll be members of the alumni who may stay here tonight because they won't be able to find their way out.
Can't find their way out at all. It really is quite an amazing accomplishment and puts Edmonton on the map. The seats, okay, the executive suites are just amazing. Great viewpoints all around. This scoreboard, Jim, is one that I think people are just find themselves almost staring up at that more than even the game. This is what you're going to become iconic until the players in it become the star.
The top goal scorers of the AHL inserted on the top line in the absence of Taylor Hall and Benoit Pouliot out of the lineup tonight for the Oilers. And we're underway as the puck rolls into the Oilers zone, was picked up by the Edmonton D. Mark Fane is back there against him, getting Moss. Simmons away with a hard shot, and that's kicked aside by Victor Foss.
Edmonton haven't had many opportunities to see Sidney Crosby, but this is what you're going to see typically coming back deep in his own end, getting some speed in the neutral zone. You got to be careful. Backhand pass and an opportunity on his first shift. And here's the challenge of this Pittsburgh team that multi-back in. You get a steady stream of 71 and 87 back-to-back.
Brandon Sutter comes out there along with Steve Downey and Nick Spaulding. Sutter trying to get the puck deep. That goes up to Patrick Hornquist, who skates after that and carries it over the line. The ball hits on the backhand. He can't get a shot away. Packarina's stuck with him. Here comes Ryan Nugent Hopkins. He'll dump that in and head to the bench. And there is David Perron, number 39, the former Edmonton Oiler. He's over by Crosby. Crosby with a backhand feed. Late. Shot and it's kicked the shot.
You mentioned all the emotion for the Calgary Flames coming up to this new building. The excitement of having Johnny Gaudreau back in the lineup with the new deal is going to give them energy. And we saw Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky skating around the rink. And I think the natural passing of the torch is the new captain deep in his own end, getting blocked and put Hopkins.
1 minute 36 seconds of 1 hour.
1 minute. Sidney Crosby with Chris Kunitz and David Perron. Simone DeBray with a hard shot and then kicked aside by Victor.
Pass and an out.
Line with the other comes up.
Gonna see. And here's the challenge of this Pittsburgh team.
And his Sutter trying to get a puck deep, and he cannot get it past Derek Roy. Roy on his line with Peter Yakupov. And then it's chopped into the Oilers.
2016-2017 World War live created them. Sure.
Around the boards, Yakupov digs it free for Roy. Fumbled with it a little bit in his skates. And over the back check there by Spaulding and sent back down to the Oilers zone. But this will be icing against Powell. Digs it free for Roy and sent back. Fumbled with it a little bit in his skates. And over the back check there by Spaulding and sent back down to the Oilers zone. But this will be
scores! Andre Center! 1-0 Edmonton!
Johnson wants from his team now that they're healthy and the start of the road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and against this Pittsburgh club, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well.
It's a Penguins team that has just 2 wins in its last 8 games and 2 of its last 10 on the road.
start of a road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and against this Pittsburgh club, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chance. The start of a road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and against this Pittsburgh club, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well.
It's the Penguins team that has just 2 wins in its last 8.
Any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well.
It's the Penguins team.
They can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well. Any easy, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well.
It's the Penguins team that has just 2 wins in its last 8.
They're healthy, and on a start of a road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and against this Pittsburgh club, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well.
It's the Penguins team that has just 2 wins.
We've seen it from the team now that they're healthy, and on by Tim Hortons one thing Mike Johnson wants from his team now that they're healthy, and on a start of a road trip is
check there on screen for Roy. Oilers though, he's in game brought to you by Tim Hortons.
One thing Mike Johnson wants from his team now that they're healthy, and on a start of a road trip is one thing Mike Johnson wants from his team now that they're healthy, and on a start of a road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and again. This Pittsburgh club, you Mike Johnson will score. Johnson wants from his team now that they're healthy, and on the start of a road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and against this Pittsburgh club, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chance. This Pittsburgh road trip is a high-paced game. We've seen it from Crosby early on, and against this Pittsburgh club, you can't turn the puck over. Don't give the Penguins any second chances and any easy offense. They create enough on their own. The Oilers are going to have to manage the puck well.
The Penguins team that has just 2 wins in its last 8 games and 2 of its last 10 on the road. Oilers are hoping they don't go off here through their mills on one night tonight. Pass up ahead to Anton Raga. The NHL lineup, and dumped in, and that's coming out. All the way back down to the Oilers.
Well, we mentioned off the top, Dave, the decision of Todd Nelson to go with Victor Fast, and a really important game for him to get his confidence. And what Todd Nelson is trying to build in this team is confidence in each other, trust in each other, and I like the decision. The fact that they hung in there in San Jose, Fast made it through the 13 rounds of the shootout, and he gets the start to try to prove that he can get on a roll.
Last home start was last Tuesday. 2 goals against on 27 shots and a loss against Minnesota.
It was hard to blame him on that game for sure. It was a turnover by Jordan Everly that ended up with the game-winning goal. He had a good game despite not winning here on home ice.
Here's Crosby. Another nice little move down the right side. Crosby looking for an outlet. Goes all the way around. All trying to hang with him. Crosby gets it back to the line and hops over the stick there of Robert Bortuzzo. And Fleury will leave it there for Steen. Sends it around the boards. Wayne Smith by the Oilers, but there's Crosby to dig it free. David Perron, who was Edmonton's leading goal scorer last season with 28. Scored in his debut back in early January. Another third bring 26 for the Penguins. He gets a chance to skate on the Malkin line. Speaking of him, here's Malkin. Puts it in front, looking for the tip from Marco, and they almost collect. Shipped up the near boards. Martin steps up. Malkin keeps it in there. Puts it down low. Here is Nugent Hopkins. Dropping out against him, so more the back in that thing.
Here's an example there where you can't have a rest after Crosby gets off the ice. If you're a deep pairing, you've got to expect Malcolm to come back on. He came on the ice and very nearly created a scoring chance.
It's a 1-2 point for that buddy of the league.
And for Mike Johnson, it's such a different bench to work and to manipulate when you have both of them in the lineup now.
Here's Yakubov, carries it in, drops it off for Derek Roy. Iceland takes the shot, and it's blocked in front.
Warriors.
And that is up and out of play. Face off, blocked in front of Fleury.
Well, you heard after the net and not allowing Malkin to get through to the crease.
Shot is
Heard.
Fleury hangs on. Will the face-off of the blast from Klefbom.
Well, you heard Elliot Friedman off the top talk about Yakupov in his early morning. It's interesting the comfort level he has with Derek Roy. And this morning when he was out with Nugent Hopkins and Everly, he looked at the coach. He said, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm not comfortable with this." And to his credit again, Todd Nilsson discussing it and making the change and finally getting Yakupov in a comfort zone for him will be a good thing for the Oilers.
He played 19 minutes on Monday night. Fleury head off with the net and not back to Justin Schultz who moved the blast to that shot. Good face-off win. Back to Justin Schultz who moves it across, and that shot is snared by Fleury. Hangs on. Back to Justin Schultz who moves it across, and that shot is snared by Fleury. Hangs on. Will the face-off of the blast from Klefbom.
We heard Elliot Friedman off the top talk about Yakupov in his early morning. It's interesting the comfort level he has with Derek Roy. And this morning when he was out with Nugent Hopkins and Everly, he looked at the coach. He said, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm not comfortable with this." And to his credit again, Todd Nilsson discussing it and making the change and finally getting Yakupov in a comfort zone for him will be a good thing for the Oilers.
Played 19 minutes on Monday night at San Jose. The most ice time he's had, Craig, since November 7th.
You got to try to build him up and get him back to playing without ownership.
Puck is back to line. There is Derek Pouliot, 21-year-old Derek Pouliot from Weyburn, Saskatchewan. This is just his 10th NHL game, and he is very familiar with the fans around here, a former Portland Winterhawk. And many Western Hockey League finals against the Edmonton Oil Kings in this building. Keith Hall sends it in towards Fleury, kick to the corner, shot free by Edmonton. Comes up the board, poking at it is Simon Dupré. Dupré has been recently paired with Chris Letang, not tonight. Here's Rob Hogan. Briefly at Pittsburgh Penguins. Eli Gardner played the 3 teams this year.
He's been a real nice fit on this line, though, hasn't he? He's been aggressive, gets in on the forecheck, and compliments Hendricks and Gordon.
Jordan Everly. Nice little backhand feed. Knew Nugent Hopkins was there, but the puck got away from him. Now it's center ice. Here's the news. Up to Jordan Everly. One little move. He's there. Everly shoots it. Fleury makes the stop on the hot stick of Jordan Everly. He's got 3 goals in his last few games here. 2 the other night. Still no hat trick in his career, though.
And that's hard to believe, isn't it? The ability he has to score and not being able to get that third. The all-elusive third.
Marine with a quick stitch. However, Patrick Hornquist just gets it outside the line. Hammered back in there by the Oilers captain, Andrew Ferris. Here is Paul Martin, one of many Pittsburgh Penguins this year. Had to stay on the injured reserve list. Injuries was the big story in Pittsburgh for pretty much the entire month of December.
How about losing Oli Mata, the great young defenseman as well? He's out, and that's a big hole for the Pittsburgh Penguins back there.
Off back there. Glenn Como still out. Pokes to the back seat. Pouliot close to the puck. Saw the hit coming, got it away. Now it's picked up on the fly by Downey. Downey down the left side, stops up, looking for help. Steve Downey with a shot at the skate, centers it on in front for Spelling, and his kick just went wide. Back to line, this is Max Lafayette. Off the end boards, met by Downey. Downey trying to dance away from Schultz. In traffic, back in front again, trying to find Spelling. And here is Pouliot. Pouliot, one move, throws it in front, nobody holds the Penguins. Keeps the pressure on it, it comes into the near corner. And by the veteran Craig Adams. To Lafayette. Recently acquired from the St. Louis Blues from Marcel Goff. He's still takes a shot that's blocked by Schultz. Gets it back. Oilers are ahead here. Lafayette.
2017 power play song created on February 26, 2025. Start play.
Penguins dancing around in the Oilers zone. Here's Schultz. Forced him to make the pass that he does. Lafayette now in behind the net. Taking a look, walks out, takes the shot, pass down, stops it. It's still loose. Clip off there, and finally, Victor Frost is able to cover that puck and get a whistle. 12:42. Takes the Victor Frost. He stops it. It's still loose. Clip off there, and finally, Victor Frost is able to cover that puck and get a whistle. 12:42. You're watching Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey.
For the player bio, brought to you by Boston Pizza. A lot of attention on David Perron returning to play in Edmonton tonight, but also Mark Arcobello, a player who said this morning that he will always be grateful to the Edmonton organization for giving him a chance as an undrafted player at a college. As a matter of fact, he's just getting mentioned on the scoreboard right now, and you saw him get up and give a quick wave. Arcobello last night went out to dinner with a couple of his former teammates, guys, and the key is he did not lose the credit card game.
The all-important win there.
Arcobello last mentioned on the scoreboard right now, and you saw him get up and give a quick wave. Arcobello last night went out to dinner with a couple of his former teammates, guys, and the key is he did not lose the credit card game. With a couple of his former teammates, guys, and the key is he did not lose the credit card game. Right now, and you saw him get up and give a quick wave. Arcobello last night is an undrafted player at a college. As a matter of fact, he's just getting mentioned on the scoreboard right now, and you saw him get up and give a quick wave. Arcobello last night went out to dinner with a couple of his former teammates, guys, and the key is he did not lose the credit card game.
The all-important win there. Yeah, good story. LA came into Yale, went to Stockton to the ECHL, then to Oklahoma. Here's really solid. Let's save by on Sidney Crosby.
There's an example of how quickly turnovers turn into chances. You get that puck out and manage it a little better. Crosby, good save by Victor Frost.
Puck comes free, and this is going to be pushed out to the blue line for Klinkhammer. Klinkhammer, Alberta boy from Lethbridge, got friends and family all around Edmonton, and is really settled in and is enjoying playing at home. And that one goes up and into the Oilers bench.
Offered by the front.
Goals all came in October. He has just 8 since October 28th.
Very much like the pulse of his team, don't you think? They got out of the gate so fast. Fleury did as well, 19 in the first 25. And this team hasn't been scoring as well, and they haven't been defending as well lately.
He has been shut out in 2 of his last 3 games. That is very un-Penguin-like.
5 games in a year they've been shut out. Last 2 years combined, a total of 6. So very un-Penguin-like is right.
Alquist searches that puck at his skates. Gave it up to Gino, who flips it near side for Robert Bortuzzo. And Bortuzzo hammers that one in there. Fast in behind his net, slows it up for Mar.10, who goes into the corner for Heath Ollie. Ollie is fought on Saturday night, and that is whistled down to the Penguins' blue line.
There's to tie a ribbon on the scoring woes of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the 5 worst stretches of his career, and his career has been built on consistency and point production. 5th best points per game in the National Hockey League history, and this has been a rough stretch for him.
Did get his 800th career point this season. There's Nugent Hopkins who trips one over the glove of Fleury. Couple of good opportunities at either end. Still no score nearing the midway point of the first period. And this is coming back down to the Oilers.
So often you look at the matchup game, and for Mike Johnson, he wants to have
the midway point of the first period. And there's still no score nearing the midway point of the first period.
Offside call. Well, Maroon just finds himself in front and does a good job of trying to be a screen. I don't think he was even trying to tip it necessarily. There's the read in the middle of the ice, a quick turnaround. And for Brian Elliott, you could see he saw that right into him. He looks up skyward, can't believe it. And what a moment for Maroon. Go down in history as the first Oiler goal scorer in this building.
Fourth line shift here for Edmonton. Mar.10 plays on the fourth line. Zach Cassian's out there at fourth line out for Calgary as well, centered by Matt Stajan.
Aggressively took basic MD. Justin Schultz in a strong game Monday night against the San Jose Sharks. He moves it up the boards. Lifted the stick to get a winning left of the first period.
Eric passed us down the ice and resulted in a nice Moe's hot player Kyle Oposo has scored. Visit Sabres.com/Moe's hot players for a 25% coupon for Moe's tomorrow.
Dan Bell's going to talk about how wide open the Edmonton Oilers are trying to play their game here this year. And an example of that, last game, Edmonton was outshot 24-12 in the first period. And that's what Dan talked about. Got to try to take advantage of them.
Games. 9.5. Here and now that one drifts up and
0% vertically score.
9.5 to go here at Rental Place. Still no score in Edmonton between the Penguins and the Oilers. Go here at Rental Place. Still no score in Edmonton between the Penguins and the Oilers.
Two occasions in NHL history where a 50-goal scorer was traded mid-season, and Pittsburgh and Edmonton have a connection to the first one. Back on November 24th, 1987, Craig Simpson, who had 13 goals in his first 21 games with the Penguins, was traded to the Oilers, where he scored 43 in the next 59. Craig, you are a member of a very select club with Dave Andrechuk, who happened to him on February 2nd, 93, from Buffalo to Toronto.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a dubious distinction or not, but I guess guys who usually score don't get traded.
And that is whistled down to the
scoring lows,
judging on the player where he is on
stretches
his
of
body.
his career. And his career has been built on consistency and point production. Fifth best points per game in the National Hockey League history.
Made the final determination here.
I'm not even sure.
Consistency, scoring lows of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Johan Larsson stick came in through that too.
Alarmingly, one of the five
Did he touch
worst
it before
stretches of
Brian
his
Gionta
career.
touched
His
it?
career has been
Or even
built
did
on
Brian Gionta
consistency
even touched it?
and point production.
Gionta was the first to celebrate by making it.
Net slows it up for Mar.10. He goes into the corner for Keith Hawley.
Because he started winning
That
the
is whistled down.
Enter English. Change default. Enter playback. Pause. Playback.
The Penguins blue line.
As to tie a ribbon on the scoring lows of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the five worst stretches of his career. And his career has been built on consistency and point production. Fifth best points per game in the National Hockey League history. And this has been a rough
Up for Mar.10. Who goes into the corner for Keith Hawley.
Shoots, he scores! Aaron Larson makes it 2-0 Edmonton.
entirely tonight in the scoring lows of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the five worst stretches of his career. And his career has been built on consistency and point production. Fifth best points per game in the National Hockey League history. And this has been a rough stretch for him. Scoring lows of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the five worst stretches of his career. And his career has been built on consistent.
That is whistled down to the all in Saturday night. And that is whistled down to the Penguins.
Sidney Crosby.
Whistled down to the
4
Penguins.
seconds after that Larson goal.
Scoring lows of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the five worst stretches of Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the five worst stretches of his career. And his career is built on consistency and point production. Fifth best points per game in the National Hockey League history. And this has been a rough stretch for him. Alarmingly, one of the five worst stretches of his career. And his career has been built on consistency and point production. Fifth best points per game in the National Hockey League history. And this has been a rough stretch for him.
did get his 800th career point this season. There's Nugent Hopkins who trips one over the glove of Fleury. Couple of good opportunities at either end. Still no score nearing the midway point of the Sharks. He moved it up the pitch. Pass over to Petrie. Pass over here to Hendricks.
14 minutes, 49, 14 minutes, 14 minutes, 14 minutes, 14 minutes, 14
send it down the ice. Quickly back across to Petrie. Into the middle for Edge on Lander. Right on the tape. Steps in and that bounces right to Zach Sill from Truro, Nova Scotia. Clefbaum. One is going back and forth east and west with the puck right now. That one's ripped up and out of play. 9.5 to go here at Rexall Place. Still no score in Edmonton between the Penguins and the Oilers.
Two occasions in NHL history where a 50-goal scorer was created mid-season, and Pittsburgh and Edmonton have a connection to the first one.
First line shift for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and against the same for the Edmonton Oilers. Nice outlet pass by Pittsburgh. For Gaston, he makes the losing that puck himself. Another sharp play by Victor Fast. A really important start for Fast. As you mentioned, it's had troubles in this building.
33 saves against the Sharks through 3 periods and overtime, and then a whole bunch of saves in a 13-round shootout, the longest shootout in franchise history to get it done. And rewarded, as you pointed out, with a start tonight. So far up to the pass. Shots of 5-5. No score. Voss confidently out of his net. Puts that around the boards. And it's picked up by Malkin. Up high. Throws it into the corner. Arcabello working against Dave. He throws it back to Bortuzzo. Just keeps it in. Or maybe he didn't.
Dave, you mentioned that shootout 13. Here's a look at it. And as you know, guys get giddy as it goes along here. Hendricks had an opportunity to win it on his own. He hits the goalpost. He's calling for the lefty Klinkhammer. Gets the rally cap on like all great baseball fans do. And what a move by Klinkhammer. That's the UC Jokinen move. A little backhand forehand. And there haven't been many moments like that on the Oilers bench this season, but that was one that'll bring a team together.
Klinkhammer's first ever shootout attempt. And their first win in California, by the way, in 16 tries.
That's been a long time.
Bouncing puck for Sutter. Throws it on in front and it bounces forward. It's Spaulding, who's had a couple of good chances so far tonight. Here's Downey. Throws it towards the net. Hits his skate. Karam's right to Everly. He's got some room to skate away. Down the right side. Everly. Throws back. And then throws it back into the corner. His shot is tipped on the block in front of Nielsen. Left ball. Throws it back into the corner. Martin swats at it as Pacioretty couldn't take it cleanly. And here is Klefbom. Oscar Klefbom called up November 25th and has been in the lineup since.
He's getting more and more comfortable with every game. His game's really elevated to another level. He's feeling like he can play the defensive game, he can jump in offensively, and he's really strong.
Here's Kunitz now. Kunitz looking for Perron. Turns and fires a shot just wide. Boy, would he love to get one here tonight.
19 minutes, 15, 19 minutes, 15 seconds of 1 hour, 31 minutes, 54 seconds. Current value 1,155. Minimum value 0. Maximum value 5,514.
Top line out there for the Penguins, causing all kinds of problems right now. Crosby wants to handle on his stick and then allows the Oilers to get it away. Here is Hendricks. Down the road, let's throw it down.
What you notice there is a real sense of urgency. All of a sudden, the Crosby line gets one chance, and they smell blood. But a nice job defensively of equaling that intensity by Boyd Gordon in the corner.
Luke Gasson try to chip it down the ice, then it goes up into the Penguins bench.
19 minutes, 45, 19 minutes, 46, 19 minutes, 47 seconds. 19 minutes, 59 seconds. 19 minutes, 46 seconds of 1.
Luke
19 minutes 49, 19 minutes 50 seconds of 1 hour 31 minutes 54 seconds.
He goes up into the Penguins bench.
You know, it's interesting, to talk about Tom Hilson and what he's done in his short time with the Edmonton Oilers. Ask him the difference between coaching in the American Hockey League and here at the NHL level, and you've seen it a couple times tonight. In the American Hockey League, it's all about development, so you don't worry all that much about matchups because you're trying to test guys and see if they can play under that. So it's like coaching a playoff American League every single night because you have to be wary of not getting caught with a bad matchup. And although there still is the development aspect of this Edmonton Oilers team, you don't worry about hurting any feelings in the National Hockey League. As a coach, you got to make sure they don't lose the matchup game. Otherwise, you're going to be behind the 8 ball.
Since he has had sole control of the bench, the Oilers are 7-6-2 under Nelson. Chance in there for Gallastic, and he was in tight. Gets his own rebound, throws it back to line. Payne with a drive, and that's blocked. And Zach Sill goes into the corner. LaPierre digs it free. Here comes Stair in game center, and then throws it into the arm zone. LaPierre puts it in behind the Edmonton net. Sill banging and crashing down there. Here is Adams. LaPierre comes in and held up. Puck back along the sideboards. Ollie is in there. And finally, it is dug free by the Oilers and sent down the ice.
Puck battle. You might need a new puck at the end of that shift. The two fourth lines battling hard against each other along the board.
Bello took a hit as they read that pass from Simon Debray. Jarred it loose, and the Oilers have the puck. Debray got a step up on Yakupov, and he strips the puck. Poked away there by the quick stick feature, but sent in by the Penguins. Around the boards, here is Bello. Bumped off the puck there, down the center, and shoots, blocked. Rebound to Malkin. It hops all over the place, right back to Yakupov. Took too long, and now here's Malkin in there across. Oh, he gets it on his back end, taking a shot. Hornquist now, up high, he gets his shot away. Good stop by Foss. Another drive, and another save by
Talbot, the Nielsen.
Roy in the corner here. Oilers bending, but not breaking.
0% Derby's great.
Malkin has got the fresh legs tonight, hasn't he?
Nice job by Yakupov getting Petrie his stick. Petrie had broken his stick. And although it's a lefty, it's really important to get your defenseman something in his hands to battle with down low.
Just inside the line. Delayed offside call, so the Oilers get it out to center. Hammerling was bet hard there by Robert Bortuzzo, a very physical defenseman for the Penguins. Look up and in. 4.5 to go. No score here in Rexall.
2-1 here on
Puck
Roberts.
comes loose, and here is Bruins.
And the Penguins are
Newton Hopkins now goes across to early. The pass goes in between.
the Penguins are trending away 2-0.
David Perron release, feed up to Kunis. Chris Kunis. Puts it in around short. Perron goes to beat it there. Along the boards and has it. Now it's into the corner where Letang waits for it. Chris Letang sends it out in front for Perron. Didn't get all of it. Rolls in on Victor Foss to scoops. Now it's into the corner where Letang waits for it. Chris Letang sends it out in front for Perron.
Oh, what a save by Cam Talbot. Nielsen.
For the match, you have Petrie on the left, Eric Roy on the right. Two guys who were under the gun moments ago.
Well, it's about trusting your teammate, too. If Derek Roy makes a bad pass and a turnover, but he gets help from his defenseman. And Petrie does a nice job of blocking his shot, breaks his stick. Yakupov with a good awareness of the situation on the ice. And you mentioned going to break. David Perron, he had two great chances on those scrambles. That one there just a little bit off and unable to get the one-timer shot. You know we'd love to score there.
6 goals in 12 games so far with the Penguins. Downey gets it free, and it's met by Sutter. And again by Downey. Steve Downey now trying to get it away from Nugent Hopkins. Here's Everly. Everly deep in his own zone. Back up the board for Nugent Hopkins. Everly goes the other way and gives it to Mark Fade, and now they've got some room to operate to get that puck out. Tipped there by Pacarina and down the ice, but that was on the wrong side of center ice, so that is icing.
820. Play keyboard. Play.
Reese first. Patrick Hornquist. Recently back in the lineup. It's a long stretch of games with a lower body injury. And Everly has it now. Wasn't able to move it fast enough, and the Penguins take over again. On the skate of Malkin, kicked in there, Baines back to get it. They watched by Patrick Hornquist. Blast. To Wally. And this is going to be icing again. Starting to get back to one play. This the last pass to save. Kunitz on the rebound. Gets it into the corner, goes back to Dupre. Took a look across and then shovels it in on his backhand. Battling down low, there is Perron, joined by Crosby. Crosby to Perron, trying to set him up for a one-timer that just didn't get it. Dug free by Dupre. Down low, out of the backhand there of Perron. Here is Crosby. Perron now, out of the corner, cycles it back for Sid. He's going to go all the way around the top and leaves it for Dupre. Well, the Oilers are really flat-footed now in their own end, Craig.
And two icings. Nugent Hopkins is the only forward that hasn't been able to change, and he's dead tired, but is able to draw that one right to the button and not go over the line to be able to change. Nice job of not icing the puck there.
Needed that. The Penguins seeing blood in the water since the big line out there. They could not take advantage. Still no score. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first.
2-1 Oilers.
One comes free, and it's right out of the stick of Edmonton. Luke Gaston goes across. Looking for Fraser, who's pressuring Derek Pouliot. Pouliot, who played his 4 years for Mike Johnston in Portland in the Western League. Now Adams picks this up on the fly and steps in, but they're on.
And then able to time the plus minute night for Crosby.
Just one assist in his last 5 games.
So few times you see that lack of production from him.
There's a lot of guys in the NHL would love to have his slumps.
Yeah, exactly. True. Still 3 games is his longest point type.
Oilers get it to center, and now they're in. Here is Emily curling back, looking for help, and he gets it into the corner for Roy. Roy took a look and throws it blindly in front of her. Intercepted by Downey. Almost picked his pocket. And here is Letang. Third leading scoring defenseman in the NHL is Chris Letang, and he leaves it for Malkin. Malkin up to Hornquist, and they're back in there. Hornquist in, shoots and pass. Makes another stop. Rebound scooped up by Klinkhammer. He chips it down the boards, and on his horse is Henry. For the final minute. Henry goes crashing in there, helped out by Klinkhammer. Trying to work it back to the point, and a quick stick there by Arcabello broke it up. Now comes free for Malkin. Not going to take any chances here with Klinkhammer right in his pocket.
You see the trust again Nelson has in that Gordon line. That's a good, solid shift to transition and offense by that.
7.3 on the clock. Ball gets tipped in offside.
Yeah, I think that's really, as a young coach, too, getting to know a lot of discussion on the bench between the coaches, and you've had a good, solid period. The shot clock's a little bit deceiving, 10-5 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But he knew coming in that the Penguins were hungry to try to break a slump, and I think for the most part, you want to get out of this period unscathed. And that Gordon line did a nice job of defending and then pushing the puck back up the other way. Position and offense by that.
7.3 on the clock. Ball gets tipped in offside.
Yeah, I think that's really, as a young coach,
There's another offside.
So Edmonton no longer has a timeout, and the score is 4-2 in favor of Buffalo. The Sabres' second time in the game, but they've led by a pair.
You've had a good, solid period. The shot clock's a little bit deceiving, 10-5 for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Jake McCabe on that goal, he does a nice job just getting the feed from down low along the wall. Just a nice one-timer.
We're going to have another delay because the others are going to change goaltending.
10-5 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he knew coming in that the Penguins were on the bench.
Offside.
Yeah, I think that's really, as a young coach,
Jonas Gustafsson is coming in goal.
Between the coaches, and
Haldick's going to get arrested.
the shot clock is
Taking a horse
receiving 10-5
back in the lineup.
Really, as a young coach, too, getting it up to
This is the point where Gustafsson probably wishing he could get a few
really, as a
shots.
young coach, too, getting to know a lot of discussion on the bench between the coaches, and
Or told him to get on the ice and get ready. We had a couple extra minutes while they were still trying to determine whether it was a goal or not.
he knew coming in that the Penguins were...
And the period comes to an end.
Take this. Victor Foss, solid in the opening 20. Marc-Andre Fleury, not quite as busy. And a scoreless game.
All between them and B, they never boo the bad players. Guys,
not a lot of defensive play.
I was going to say, how about the pace of that one?
How about
like in men's league
0%
game.
vertically scroll.
Unbelievable.
Highest scoring all-star game in NHL history. So, plays underway here in the second period. The Pittsburgh Penguins had just 21 shots on goal in their last loss. A season low against Nashville at home ice. They're halfway to that total already. And there's a loose puck right in front. Foss is down. They score. Rebound. And there's a loose puck right in front. Foss is down. 21 shots on goal in their last loss. A season low against Nashville at home ice. They're halfway to that total already. And there's a loose puck right in front. Foss is down. They score. So, players. Boys, they come again. Perreault with a shot and a save made by Fost. The assist going there to Letang and Perreault with a shot and a save made by Fost. The assist going there to Letang and Arcabello, and now Fost is down. A collision with Perreault, his former teammate.
Victor Foss wants the penalty here, and Perreault's coming over to talk to him. A bit of an errant play and a bit of an overplay by Foss. He's yelling at him and saying, "That's my side of the net. You ran right into me." The officials were right there, and no arm went up. Dan O'Halloran is having a discussion there. And as much as you do see contact, I think it's the over-aggressiveness of Victor Foss that initiates it. Quick play, Crosby tries back at this end. And oh yeah, he didn't dare not teammates anymore.
Foss can be a fiery guy. We've seen that at points in his time here at Edmonton. And the puck is sent into the corner. Here it's Klefbom trying to get it away, and he drips this one down the ice. And this has been the problem for the Oilers for the last 15 minutes or so.
Okay, Dave, you teed it up perfectly. You mentioned Foss and his ability to talk. He's done it numerous times. Here's at the end of the first period. He goes right after Nail Yakupov, trying to explain a play. Doesn't seem to be getting his point across. Goes to Craig Ramsey. Says, look, this is how it's got to work. Here's what he's talking about. Look at Yakupov in the middle of the ice. Instead of cutting to the corner to get, or to the ball to get fast someone to pass it to, he turns the puck over, and that almost ends up with a shot late. And this Oiler team is all about teaching. At times, that kind of a personality, maybe a little bit over-aggressive, as goaltenders can be, but the message by Todd Nelson getting across to these young players.
Another save made by Foss off the face-off win by the Penguins. They won just 37% in the first period. But that last one was a clean win by Crosby. And he's going to direct some traffic here. What's his issue?
I think it might be the lights. I don't think he wants those Oiler lights going around him.
This has been the problem for the Oilers.
You makes us #1 customer satisfaction for aftermarket service.
Teed it up perfectly. You mentioned Foss and his ability to talk. He's got numerous times.
2015 Pittsburgh Penguins versus Edmonton Mar.10 and 4 more pages. First by Chris Austin and subscription to player group. Volume 270% quality. Current value 70% value. Maximum value 100.
In Edmonton.
They worked on it a lot the last couple of weeks.
And
you're right, it looks sharp with game 1 on Thursday. If I go to work here, Donato plays it up
with a shot late. And this Oiler team is all about
complimentary YouTube.
Rips one in there, and it's going to be picked up by Hendricks. Here is Ferris up the boards. Boyd Gordon followed up, and now it comes near side. Hendricks can't get it deep, and it's scooped up by Kunis. His pass attempt broken up by Boyd Gordon. Now swept the drive where it's going to be met by Ferris. Up to center. Hendricks sends it in, and Fleury will stop it up in behind the goal. Clinkhammer, he heard him coming. Off the center, it's hit back in. First man of the puck, a little race for there was Sill, and it gets it free for Lapierre. His sharp angle shot into traffic, and it is up and out of play. First man of the puck, a little race for there was Sill, and it gets it free for Lapierre. His sharp angle shot, and it is sharp angle shot into traffic, and it is up and out of play to the line.
Good job to get it out. Feeds it over to Backlund with a paper on the corner.
824 October 14/2016 Edmonton Oilers Calgary Flames.
Brought to you by the new 2017 Toyota Corolla and Corolla IM hatchback. Joy that lasts.
Jordan Eberle's been dangerous. He's had 2 high-quality scoring chances already in this game. Scored an empty netter last game, and it's pretty clever empty netter. Recall, Rick, I think that really showcases how good a goal scorer he is. And I know people are going to say, well, Kelly, it's only an empty netter, but sometimes there's uniqueness to some of those goals, and I thought that was the case Wednesday.
Sam Bennett wins the draw. Kachuk concentrating on the puck.
Here on Pacarina, it is 6th NHL game, number 62, on the forecheck there. This is first season playing in North America, and he is adapting very well, certainly at the American League level. Played 5 games in November, scored 1 goal, and here he is up there with Eberle, who's spinning around with the puck. Eberle goes back to the line, moved across to Fane. Fane's shot blocked right in front by Hornqvist. Up to Malkin, who's got the game's only goal. Chris Letang drops it off for Malkin, back across. Hornqvist couldn't get a shot away. Second attempt. Frost is down with that pad, and the puck goes in behind the net. Victor Frost is the reason this game is not 4 or 5-0. Penguins have had premium chances, and Frost has stood his ground.
This is one I put on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Maybe a little fatigued. He had no effort here. Watch it go in offensively. 3 Edmonton Oilers hanging in deep. Now you got a block shot, a turnover. Watch the middle of the ice, though. This is one where Nugent-Hopkins has to get back and get somebody. Instead, takes nobody. Malkin with a nice nifty pass that Frost, as you mentioned, makes 3 great saves. But Nugent-Hopkins needs a better back check on that play.
Luke Galston chops it away, and once again, the Penguins.
Wrong side of center.
Premium chances.
38 seconds to go.
Matthew Tkachuk had a really strong preseason for the Flames, but in this game you can really see why he's made it on the training camp on the roster. I mean, just great strength for the youngster. Typically you don't find young players that strong on the puck. I think the genes are pretty much in his favor when you watch his father play. Another guy that I made rich.
Second national half.
800.
Brandon Sutter's father, Brent, did not make the trip from Red Deer as his team is in Kamloops tonight. Back up to center. Here is Fraser. Fraser fires this one out. Speaking of Red Deer, the Red Deer native is Fraser, and Luke Galston spins it back in there. To the corner. Now in behind the Penguins net. Fraser was buried in there by Scuderi, and it's skated away by the Penguins. Sutter gets it across to Dupre. Simon Dupre stepping in. Puts it along the end boards where Schultz ties up his man Spaulding. Downey fighting for it, and it comes to the near side. Here is Teddy Purcell. His pass over the stick of Galston. And back in they go. Purcell. Pressured there by Downey, and he's helped out now by Clefbaum. They'll just flip this one back out to center. Eric Pouliot is surrounded by a couple Oilers, made a nice little move, but it goes back out to center and inside the Oilers blue line. 4.5 minutes into the second period. Malkin has scored 24 seconds in, his 20th of the season. His first game back after missing 5.
This is where on the Oiler bench you got to start talking as a group to get pucks in deep. No shots in 5 minutes of this second period. You need a little bit of momentum killer. Get some offense going.
Almost a chance there for Yakupov. Neil Yakupov, who has just 1 goal in his last 24 games. And is sitting with a minus 24, Craig, that is right down at the bottom of the NHL. Pouliot has the puck bouncing around. The Oilers are going to get a chance to step in. Klinkhammer with a wrist shot. Rebound right in front for Hendricks, and he was tied up. So it's 1 and done. And now here comes Perreault. David Perreault cuts to the net, and the puck is handled there by Frost. Never really got a shot away as Barron's stuck with him. Back for Kunitz. Kunitz has it now. Back to Perreault. Perron centers it on his front for Kunis that he couldn't get a shot as the pass got handcuffed him there. Here is Letang. Goes up the boards. Hornquist tips it up and out of play. The faceoff will be outside the Oilers blue line.
Well, earlier in this period, we saw the collision between Victor Fast and David Perron here. Perron with a nifty move to the outside, knows he's getting pressured. He does a pretty good job of stopping up and making sure he didn't get a penalty. An arm didn't go up the last time. I think maybe he was a little cautious there. Kind of saved a good chance on goal as he didn't want to create contact and maybe get an arm up that time.
In his 12 games with the Penguins, he leads the team in shots on goal. So
really, that was a pretty Perron here. Well, earlier
tips it up and out of play. The faceoff will be outside the Oilers blue line.
Well, earlier in this period, we saw the collision between Victor Fast and David Perron here. Perron with a nifty move to the outside, knows he's getting pressured. He does a pretty good job of stopping up and making sure he didn't get a penalty. An arm didn't go up the last time. I think maybe he was a little cautious there. Kind of saved a good chance on goal as he didn't want to create contact and maybe get an arm up that time.
In his 12 games with the Penguins, he leads the team in shots on goal.
It's really important. You come to a new team.
He was all smiles. Here's a chance backhand and a great block stop by Foss on Mark Arcobello. Arcobello has got an assist already in this period and a great chance on his former teammate. But Foss keeps it 1-0 on Wednesday night.
The guy on your left with the only goal of the game, but the bigger story is the assist by the guy on your right. Chris Letang has now assisted on 8 consecutive Penguins goals, which is a franchise record. The last Pittsburgh goal that he did not assist on was against Chicago in their last game before the All-Star break. Doug McLean was talking about him as a Norris guy. Here's another reason for the argument, guys.
And another great glove stop there by Foss. He is really keeping the Oilers in this.
Face-off discrepancy has now gone the way of the Pittsburgh Penguins here in the second period. They've won the majority.
Derek Roy knocks that puck down and then try to feed it on his backhand in there deep. Did not get it in there. And now it's bouncing around at center ice for Purcell. They got up high on Dupre and it's picked up by Purcell. His slip shot whistles over the shoulder of Florian down the ice.
That's one where you got to get that on net. You got bodies going towards the net, everybody collapsing to the front, and instead the puck goes back the other way.
Wide side and gone, right? Now we're going to get a face-off of the Penguin zone as Fleury recovers up and hangs on.
All right, now the face-offs have been going in the favor of one and a little missed assignment. Everybody anxious to get out to the point, and Hornquist walked right down the middle, as you mentioned, without that one mistake that Victor Fast made. Other than that, he's been exceptional.
15 saves so far. Penguins control off the draw and skated away. Here is Spaulding back into the middle for Downey. Throws it on his front for Sutter, and he just missed with a tip. Justin Schultz, wide side and gone, right?
Hadn't been able to make that one.
Now we're going to get a face off the Penguins.
And this is going back to the mid-'80s as well between Edmonton and Calgary. You got one star at one end that's getting a lot of the attention, so what does the guy on the other side do? This is Johnny Gaudreau. He's trying to make something out of nothing. He's got such an ability to put the puck into a safe area. Another common thread, keeping the legs moving and making something happen. 3 great moves that created a scoring chance out of basically no chance.
McDavid against Monahan again. And McDavid won the face-off. Russell faked the shot. Sekera takes the shot. Elliott got
try to go up the boards, knocked down by the corner there. Now they've created a little space here on the right side. David Perron. I want to see more pace from the Penguins. I want to slow down their front, but nobody home is doing as we're changing. Okay. One step too late as Chris Kunitz got the puck and he moves it across to Skinner as Skinner sends it back in. Perron giving up up and going out of the corner. goes up the board, and the Oilers are going to get it up to center. Here is Hendricks. Leads it for the smooth skating Jeff Petrie. Back and forth, Hendricks, and he's in traffic. And couldn't get a shot away. Here comes Crosby. Back the other way. Crosby had it poked off his stick, and that is going to be offside at the Oilers' blue line. Well, tune in to Music Biggest Night at the 7th Annual Grammy Awards this Sunday, 8 Eastern. Biggest Night.
You're in Edmonton. Here's a matchup that is, if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, you got to take advantage of. Fourth line for the Penguins up against the top line. The Edmonton Oilers. Here's a matchup that is, if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, you got to take advantage of. Fourth line for the Penguins up against the top line. The Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton Oilers 2016-2017
Eastern.
You're an Edmonton Oilers fan, you got to take advantage of. Fourth line for the Penguins up against the top line.
And gone, right? Now they're going to get a face-off of the Penguin zone as Fleury covers up and hangs on.
So right now, the face-offs have been going in the favor of one and a little missed assignment. Everybody anxious to get out to the point, and Hornquist walked right down the middle. As you mentioned, without that one mistake that Victor Fast made, other than that, he's been exceptional.
15 saves so far.
And he's a little missed assignment. Everybody anxious to get out to the point, and Hornquist walked right down the middle of the assignment. Everybody anxious to get out to the point, and Hornquist walked right down the middle. As you mentioned, without that one mistake that Victor Fast made, other than that, he's been exceptional.
15 saves so far.
And a little missed assignment. Everybody anxious to get out to the going in the favor is one and a little missed assignment. Everybody anxious to get out to the point, and Hornquist walked right down the middle. As you mentioned, without that one mistake that Victor Fast made, other than that, he's been
Knocked down in front and cleared to the line, but not out. Here's Letang. Sharp play to move it back to the line where it's sent back in there. Klefbom contending with Lapierre. There's Sill. Moves it back to Downey. Downey took a look across, but not out. Moreau was knocked down in front. Sharp play to move it back to the line where it's sent back in there. Klefbom contending with Lapierre. There's Sill. Moves it back to Downey. Downey took a look across. Pakarinen lost his footing, and here's Downey. Lost position of the pocket, and now it's back up to six. Possession, Schultz is in. Schultz in deep, trying to center, looking for Eberle. Eberle gets the puck in the corner. Back to the right. Quickly across, and the Oilers almost got caught with a too many men there.
That was a nice play of Nail Yakupov not grabbing it right away. He let it go and go off the boards to allow the guys to get off.
Hornquist. Stripped to the pocket, it's back to center. Here comes Nail Yakupov. Into the fourth, another front backhand, and it just missed. What a chance for Roy. A chance created by a good high forecheck by Yakupov.
And he's yelling at himself right there on the ice as he didn't realize he maybe had his little bit more time. If he held on to that one for another split second, I think he could have gone right across the net and would have had an empty one.
Malkin takes that one free and then heads up, gets the return feed in over the line. Now he'll head for the front of the net. That pass just over the reach there of Downey. Now here comes Malkin. Sweep it all the way around the edge. Still with it. Malkin threw it across, and that was well in behind Derek Pouliot. Brandon Sutter picks up the loose puck. Chips it in. He's only watching him, and he hits him. But Sutter rolls off the check, gets it to Downey. Downey goes back to the line. Here is Dupre. Dupre wants the line. Snapshot. Deflected right in front of him. Goes into the corner. Here's Dupre again. Around the board. Spaulding can't reach it. Luke Gaston shots at it. That's not going to get past Scuderi. And now it's Lander. It's Todd Lander was a former assistant captain for Todd Nelson down in Oklahoma City, but former assistant captain for Todd Nelson down in Oklahoma City, but Derek Roy down to the opposite end, coming oh so close to tie this up for the Oilers, but they're still down by 1. Strong effort by Justin to tie this up for the Oilers, but they're still down by 1. Strong effort by Justin Schultz on Monday in San Jose, trying to back it up here tonight.
Well, if you're not getting the offensive game going by jumping up your defense as Schultz does here, creates a great chance. Get a stick by Letang, though. The forecheck, that's early in the first period. The Oilers were getting their chances. There's Roy on a nice forecheck by Yakupov, but just couldn't quite hold on to it long enough. Arcabello was coming across to cut him off, might have caught his attention, and he was a frustrated Oiler going to the bench.
Arcabello, the man he was acquired for when they was in that trade with Nashville. Derek Roy has 5 goals in the season, 4 of them as an Oiler.
I think the little changes that have happened and transpired for the Oilers in the last couple of
lead in there, top
tweaks.
Crosby back to the line, a great shot, weak and wide. He'll gallop in there for the rebound, trying to find it, and Crosby's got it down. Sidney Crosby took a look towards it, and goes back to Dupre. Dupre across to Scuderi, and that pass over the stick of Crosby. Perron in front, Crosby trying to get a shot away. It's bouncing now, he's got it again. Linkhammer off the boards and out. Quick up to Perron. Here is Zach Sill. Sweeps it out in front, and that goes in behind the net. Sill turns towards the net, and Fox ready for that. Makes the stop and hangs on.
Facing a compromising situation. Tonight's Edmonton Oilers power plays are brought to you by BioSteel. Drink the pink.
Tune into Sportsnet tomorrow night to catch the New York Islanders as they visit the Philadelphia Flyers. That starts at 7 Eastern. Pittsburgh Penguins enter tonight 1 point back of the Islanders for top spot in the Metropolitan Division. That old barn in Long Island, it is rocking these days, isn't it?
It sure is. It's been a nice journey for the New York Islanders to get back to being a good, dangerous team to play against.
They're all of that. That's the New York Rangers. Puck along the sideboards. There is Lapierre. Doesn't look back.
This is a matchup that's been killing the Oilers here. The fourth line for the Penguins has owned this Nugent-Hopkins line the last 2 times.
Something they should take personally at some point,
absolutely.
Right?
As a player, you talk to your line mates and try to ramp up the energy and get something going.
Again, in case you're late in joining us, no Taylor Hall tonight, no Benoit Bouillon, 2 top 6 forwards out of the lineup for the Oilers this evening, both day-to-day. It's hard to evaluate Pacarino so far, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been that kind of game where there hasn't been a lot of offensive zone time. I think he's shown that he's got flashes of being a good aggressive. He can skate well enough. He's got a big body. But there hasn't been that offensive zone time by that line.
Petrie backing towards it, but it is offside at the line. Take it back downstairs to Elliott.
Yeah, remember that great Chris Letang story we just told a couple minutes ago? Forget it. The assist has been taken away.
I thought it might be, Elliott. Yeah. I was going to say that, but...
Yeah, and Patrick Hornquist was given the assist, so only 7 assists in a row for Letang. The 8th did not happen. He does not single-handedly have the team record, and we apologize for reporting unfactual information.
At the time, it was factual. It was on the score sheet, but
true.
That replay, you saw that little deflection in front. I think it did hit Hornquist's stick, and part of the reason why Fast couldn't get it.
Chris Letang, of course, had a 5 assist night last week against the Winnipeg Jets.
Here's the play. Watch Hornquist. It actually hits the skate right there and goes back. So that's why the puck actually came back in play. So a good pickup by the off-ice officials, but a disappointment, I'm sure, for Chris Letang.
Mar.10 waits for that puck, and he puts it around the boards, and here is Bouillon.
I don't think Elliott's ever wrong, folks. And he wasn't. When he was reporting, it was right.
I wonder if he went on Twitter and they were starting to get him to check his facts. Wrist shot just past the stick there of Foss. Turns all the way outside his zone. Derek Pouliot has put up huge points for Mike Johnston with the Portland winner. Here's Malkin now to Arcabello. Good shot. A great save by Foss on the one-timer. Here is Pouliot again. Bouncing puck down away from him. Here is Bortuzzo. Robert Bortuzzo from Thunder Bay. Watches if that puck goes over his stick back down into his own end. Pouliot met by Henrik as the pressure came and Bortuzzo bails him out. Nice little play there by Perron to one-hand that puck up ahead, and here they come. Here's Crosby. Perron following up. Stepping in, throws it in front, and that goes off a skate back to the line. David Perron again across to the play, in, looking for Crosby, and he just missed with a tip in front. Here's Dupree again, and now we've got a penalty for the call. Here's Dupree again, and now we've got a penalty call here. It's going to be a hooking call. First penalty call of the night, and the Oilers get the first power play as the former Oiler is headed to the box. Oilers with a man advantage when we come back. Back headed to the box. Oilers with a man advantage when we come back. Back in Edmonton, and there's a look at the last two Penguins who have had the best chances.
Well, the reason why the game is still a one-goal game is Arcabello with a one-timer that fast comes across and reads it well. Sidney Crosby, little spin around, and had to knock that one out of midair. He had his stick on the ice, couldn't quite pick up the puck in time, and because of the penalty to David Perron, the power play gets a chance to tie this up. A power play that's goalless in its last 4 games.
0 for 8 against the Pittsburgh penalty kill, which is tied for third overall. However, they've allowed a power play goal.
Play that's goalless and couldn't quite pick up the puck in time, and because of the penalty to David Perron, the power play gets a chance to tie this up. A power play that's goalless in its last 4 games. What Crosby pick up gets a chance to tie this up. A power play that's goalless in its last 4 games. Power play gets a chance to tie this up. A power play that's goalless in its last 4 games.
0 for 8 against the Pittsburgh penalty kill, which is tied for third overall. However, 0 for 8 against the Pittsburgh penalty kill, which is tied for games overall. However, they've allowed a power play goal in 6 of their last 8 games. And right away, they do not get it out. Here's a chance down low. Everly batting the near point, gets it to Nugent Hopkins. Back and forth he goes. Here's Nugent Hopkins back up top to Schultz. Justin Schultz takes a look over to Nugent Hopkins, top of the circle, his shot off the skates of the tag to the boards for Everly. Everly to Teddy Purcell in a slot. Back to Everly, Purcell moves it back to Schultz. Schultz, Nugent Hopkins, Schultz with a drive off the skate of Sutter. Sutter was a threat to score short-handed. Here's Everly, walking in, Landers punch right in front. Schultz, Nugent Hopkins, good position, not enough shots right now. There's one, and a save by Fleury. Schultz corrals it. Everly winds and fires, and that one is gobbled up by Marc-Andre Fleury.
Good opportunity for Anton Lander, who's been playing some good hockey for Todd Nelson since coming up from Oklahoma City. A job, get in front of the net, get the screen. At this point, the Oilers unable to get the puck through the box. The Penguins do a nice job of taking away shooting lanes. When the puck does come there, though, a nice box out by Scuderi. A good veteran play doesn't allow Lander in on the play.
Wholesale change for Todd Nelson. Yakupov will rocket drive. And Fleury made a good stop on that. Good stop by Neil Yakupov.
Nielsen.
Hits the
front.
Under English, American Samoa.
Good pressure here by Edmonton. It's been all down here. 45 seconds to go on the man advantage. Roy goes to Yakupov. Back he goes. Yakupov top of the circle.
McDavid.
Around. Takes a look. Goes across one time.
To do it.
Macarena with a standstill. Yakupov. Gonna get a handle in the corner. Gets it to Eero. Macarena to the other side. Here is Brazen. Rolled away from him, but he got it back momentarily, and the Oilers retain possession. Out in front, Roy pokes at it to keep it wide. Martin chips it off the boards, and finally Lapierre chops that one down the ice.
Boy, a real sense of urgency and intensity on that power play. Good puck movement, good aggressive shots. One good save by Fleury and another save by the post.
Here's Petrie again. Wow, what a hard shot. Up high on Fleury, who's shaking that one off. He just stepped into that one as the power play is now over. Team's back at even strength. Here's Scuderi now. Scuderi towards the net. Into the corner it goes. Letang couldn't corral it, and it bounces out to center where Sidney Crosby skates it back into his own zone.
Dave, if the others were showcasing Petrie, there's a shift. You show him right there.
Here comes Crosby. Crosby into the pilot wide, far side on Foss. Up high, Perron can't get the stick free to get a shot. Letang does, and it flutters off of his blade. There's Crosby again, trying to center it. Perron trips up his man Everly, and then heads into the corner. Ollie is there, so is Jordan Everly. Perron gets it back to the line, and the Penguins right back to work at even strength. Under 3 minutes to go here. Shots are now 19-11 overall. Power play helping the Oilers get a little bit of a mix to it. The Penguins go one away. Arcavelo with Horsman. Arcavelo in. Fox the save. Puck is loose. Montefel's on. Nielsen the save. Dupre turns and shoots. Turns that save. Great action around the Oilers net, and they skate it away. Victor Foss, the performance he's putting on tonight. A gut call by Tom Nielsen, and he is answering the call for Edmonton. Here's Gordon, right side. Flips it towards the net. Brinkhammer down there. Look at it. Loose puck, and it's swatted away by Fleury. In front again. As they try to feed it back towards the net, and it goes into the corner. One of the best chances Edmonton's had all night in the last few minutes here. Hendricks trying to dig it free in a 1-0 game. Comes up the boards. Gordon. There is the break. Chasing after it with Klinkhammer. Leaning on him. Pittsburgh. And the Oilers keep it in. Pouliot sends this one down the ice. And now it's the Penguins who wants the puck.
Well, it's a classic case of, despite not scoring on your power play, it sure created some momentum. And it was Jeff Petrie, a little deflected, hard shot there that goes off the crossbar. And this one is just walking into a one-timer that surprises Fleury. But at the other end, the Pittsburgh Penguins attacking the net. Victor Foss through traffic once, twice, battles for a loose puck. Bodies in front, finally a clear as a nice block from Schultz. For the Pittsburgh Penguins with a good chance to make it 2-0.
90 seconds to go in this second period. Derek Roy trying to get that puck away from Arcavelo, and Clermont can't hold it even. Hornquist hounding him, and now it's going to be Purcell. Teddy Purcell spins back, some room to skate it out, and a little backhand feed in for Roy. Behind him and a turn to take it, and it bounces out in front, but there is Brandon Sutton. They'll go off the boards. Off ahead to Steve Downey. Downey goes across, looking for Letang, and he couldn't ground that hot pass. Downey on it again, back to the line for Martin. His drive bounces around, and there's Spaulding. Spaulding back towards the net, and Foss with the glove.
Well, a lot of the Pittsburgh offense comes from Letang jumping up into the play, and he doesn't get his chance off a cross-seam pass here, but he keeps the play alive. And the Penguins, as they've done so often, cycle to the outside, get the puck to the net, and Spaulding trying to corral that in front. Look at how effective Victor Foss was. Followed him across, didn't give him any option to get the puck to the net, and more importantly, they've got the face-off so Boyd Gordon can try to win it.
Boyd Gordon, one of the top face-off men in the NHL, won that one cleanly on Crosby. Now Kunitz tries to pick it up off the boards and couldn't. Petrie chips it down there, leaves it in there for Hendricks, who turns back. Hendricks to Gordon, his shot handled by Fleury. Goes into the corner, back to Boyd Gordon again. He'll send it around the boards in the final 30 seconds now. Letang floats it down, and Ferentz will go back for it. Back at the center. Letang with some room to move it across to Crosby. Mishandled the puck, and the Oilers get it out. Paul Martin checks the clock. Throws it up the ice. David Perron steps in. Time for one last shot. Here's Letang. Leads into a fight. Scores! Paul Martin checks the clock. Throws it up the ice. David Perron steps in. Paul Martin Martin checks the...
And it ends up
not going to be very good about the one that wasn't called.
And instead of a one-goal game, it's a two-goal deficit.
Right side, because he fell catching the puck on his off wing. Just that slight stride that you have to break in order to do it was putting him behind Crosby, and they wanted him a step faster. Dave?
Well, it's working. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals in this his 13th game with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Greg.
I don't think there's any question that his game has sped up since going to the Penguins. I think one of the issues in playing with Leon Draisaitl early was that line as a group would stop skating. There's a lot of standing still, and you get with Crosby, you're forced to get to another level.
The Oilers getting Klinkhammer and a first-round draft pick in exchange for Perron in early January.
I think Klinkhammer will be a player they'll be trying to sign as well. He's an unrestricted free agent, but he's fit in well in the role that he's slid into here in Edmonton.
Simon Dupré at center ice fires that one in. Victor Foz, who must still be just shaking his head on that bad bounce that he got the final second of the second period.
A bad bounce and a bad rebound. I mean, with 0.4 left, the bounce was a disappointing one off the stick and then off the skate of Hornquist, but that last one was a killer. Stick with 0.4 left, but the bounce was a disappointing one off the stick and then off the skate of Hornquist, but that last one was a killer.
I want to remind you that there's a big game just down the road that is just starting in Calgary. The San Jose Sharks and the Flames. That is on Sportsnet 1 right now. Just 2 points between those two in the Pacific Division, and we will join that game on Sportsnet when this one is complete here in Edmonton. San Jose coming off the loss to the Oilers on Monday. One knocked down by Letang with a high stick. Touched by Henricks, so the play keeps going. At Henricks now, the Pittsburgh zone. Along the side boards, following up now is Gordon with Klinkhammer. Those two played together in Arizona. Here's Crosby now, trying to kick that up to his stick and couldn't. Henricks tips it back down there. Letang takes a look, sees Klinkhammer coming, who's in the top 20 in hits in the NHL, by the way. Another thing they must love. Hitting right in on the back-banging crash line. Here's a chance for Downey. He shoots and he just missed on the stick side on Fost.
What a no-look pass by Sidney Crosby. Again, Downey coming off the bench, got lost in traffic, and Crosby the only one that saw him there.
Crosby did draw an assist on the goal by David Perron, along with Chris Letang, who does get an assist. Should we send that back down there and have him take another run at that story?
8 out of 9. He's done.
Brandon Sutter chases that puck into the corner. He's met by Schultz. Keeps it alive for Downey. And here is Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins drilled to rushing over the line. Cut off. Leaves it for Nugent Hopkins. His shot up on Fleury, who took a real high, hard one from Jeff Petrie near the end of that second period. Almost seemed to sting him. Here's Sutter curling around, and he'll give it up to Craig Adams, who just kicks it in there.
0% penalty score.
Here's Klefbom moving around the board. Here gets it. Back into the corner for Sill. Sill trying to step out in traffic. Puck bounces up away from him, and now it's taken away by Anton Lander. Lander at center ice. Trying to chip it in there on his backhand to not get it past Derek Pouliot. Pouliot getting a chance to play in the absence of Christian Ehrhoff, who is out with concussion symptoms. Been having a good season after being bought out in Buffalo. Sounds a nice little deal to come to Pittsburgh, and he's been a nice addition. They miss him.
Yeah, with him and Holy Mata, this Pittsburgh defense would be a lot different offensively having those two in.
Here's Derek Roy, picks that up and skates it away to the blue line and beyond. Chips it off the glass. Scuderi is back there, sweeping it in for Dupré. Malkin giving a bump there from Ferentz, and this one rolls back for Petrie. Petrie cycles it back, and it's moved back to the line. Here's Malkin, goes across, almost intercepted there by the Oilers. Now Yakupov follows up. He'll head for the front of the net. There's the shot, tipped on his way by. Ends up on the back of the goal, and Scuderi chops it into the corner. Purcell. Yakupov swirling around. Here is Barrett. Into the corner for Jeff Petrie. Backs up, puts it towards the net. And that one is handled easily by Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh, the best chance for the Penguins on this third period was a no-look pass out of the corner. Ference absorbs the hit. Everybody looking at the puck, and it's Downey coming off the bench. That was the dangerous man. And Boyd Gordon typically playing hard minutes. There's another one right off the instep here, and he went gingerly back to the Edmonton Oilers bench after blocking that one.
Steve Downey in his first season with the Pittsburgh Penguins, having that unique blend of toughness and a little bit of offensive touch as well. Here's Schultz back to the line. Klefbom shot. Sails over that. Loose puck picked up. Wraparound attempt by Pakarinen. Ends up back to the line. Evelyn. Schultz. Wide shoots, and he just missed. Good high shot there by Schultz. Here's Pakarinen now. Top line of the ice for the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins. Evelyn throws it back for Klefbom. Took a look across and then steps around Downey and steps in. Klefbom to the net. Kicked out by Fleury. Here is Eero Pakarinen. Just called up yesterday and inserted onto the top line for the Oilers in the absence of Hall. Back into the corner. Pakarinen waits for it. Lifts the stick of Martin. And goes to the corner up the boards and out. Sutter chips it in. The Penguins get a much-needed change.
Well, that's back-to-back shifts for Oscar Klefbom. A couple of good reads. He jumped up on the shift before, made a good play, an excellent play on the blue line to create an offensive chance as well. His development continues to grow.
First-round pick from 2011. Chris Kunitz stopped up, met by Ollie, and now the Oilers come away with it again. Klinkhammer to Hendricks. Rolls off that check by Bortuzzo. Ends up out in front of the nets, and good back check by Perona. Break it up, and out Crosby did. Trying to cut to the inside, and hanging with him there was Mark Fane.
Smart play by Fane. He didn't try to overplay and get his feet moving. Crosby's waiting for you to cross your feet there and cut back. Fane just stayed his ground and did a nice active stick to pick the puck away.
Fane has seen a little bit of that in his days with the New Jersey Devils. Sidney Crosby playing just his 7th game of his career against the Oilers. Just his 4th game here. Fraser meets that puck, and that hit an Oiler along the boards, and slowly getting up is that stinks. So Everly makes his way to the bench, and we will take a break. 13:47 to go. It's 2-0 for the Pittsburgh Penguins as Everly gets the School of Hard Knocks. Tonight's points of performance brought to you by Pennzoil.
Well, as a former Edmonton Oilers, lots of talk by David Perron coming back. Probably should have had a penalty against there. Lots of talk with Victor Fast. Held up just enough to not get contact there, and at the end of the second period, in the dying seconds, he gets his 7th goal as a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Eero Pakarinen with a long-range wrist shot. A lot of mustard on that one, but Fleury saw it and stopped it easily.
You mentioned before you haven't seen much of Pakarinen to get a real sense, but one thing I will tell you, in Oklahoma City, he's played in all the key roles, top 6 forward, 17 goals on the year. He's a 20-goal scorer in the Finnish Elite League, and this is another young Oiler that has spent his time in the American League this year and playing those key minutes, and there's lots more to come from him.
Strong season for him in Finland, and then at a very good performance for Finland at the World Championship. Saw Finland win a silver medal. He was a big part of it.
I think you want to keep seeing him play with that little bit of an edge. Be a tougher player to play against, have a little bit of grit in your game.
Here comes Yakupov, dancing in over the line, but Derek Roy was just a beat offside.
It's interesting watching Yakupov. I say when he has struggled, it's like if you're a dog owner, you get the puppy out of the kennel and he just starts running around and going from leg to leg and doesn't really have a purpose or a plan. I think when he struggles, that's sort of the energy that he brings. I think when he gets it all together, though, he's like the older dog that gets out knows exactly where he's going. And I think that's really the balance for him, to match that energy that he's trying to give out there with a real sense of purpose and calm.
Gets a good shot away there, and Fleury makes a good stop on Yakupov. throws a check right in front of the Penguins bench. No question about it that Yakubov is a lot more loose, a lot more comfortable under Todd Nelson
The
than he was
coaching
under
change has made a significant difference in that regard. Now you just got to get some consistency and some real calm composure in his game. I think the effort is, the energy is trying to be there. It hasn't always been as guided as it needs to be.
Crosby floats it in there, and there is Chris Kunitz, the native of Regina, Saskatchewan. The player he's been for the last several years for the Penguins. And Foss makes a save on that sneaky shot.
The truck net, the more that'll make maybe he's going to get here.
On net in this third period. Well, this week on Hockey Night in Canada, 5 choices of nationally televised games. Start your evening with Hockey Central Saturday at 6:30 Eastern, and then stay tuned for a full night of NHL action on CBC, Sportsnet, City, and FX. Visit sportsnet.ca/schedule for all the details. Oilers will be on Hockey Nights in Toronto to start a 6-game road trip. Hopkins couldn't corral that along the boards, and the Penguins still in business. Downey towards the net. Goes off a skate into the corner versus Bowling. Here's Downey picking it up. Along the boards, cycles it back there. Letang stepped up in the plate and was out of his reach. Sent back around. Over to Letang. Gets back into position. And so, here's Chase against Nugent Hopkins. Top line ends here.
Top line really hasn't been able to get a lot of good offensive shifts in succession, have they? They've spent a number of times in their own zone.
They do a lot more battle drills in practice, and I'm thinking Todd Nelson would like to have seen a little bit more battle tonight, perhaps.
And there hasn't been a lot of sustained pressure, has there? There haven't been the long shifts in the offensive zone where you can get some of those battles, win them, get some cycles down low. It's been a fairly easy night for Fleury as well. He's made a couple of good saves, but not any big rebounds or flurries in front of him. Pardon the pun.
Couple of Fleury could use to start tonight. He has struggled of late.
This is why I wasn't surprised that he was getting the nod tonight. This is a game that the Pittsburgh Penguins really felt they needed, and their goaltender, their number one goaltender, needs a win. I think it's the right choice for Mike Johnson to get the number one guy in here at the start of a 3-game Western swing.
They'll play Calgary on Friday, then Vancouver on Saturday night. This one sent down the ice, tipped on the way by. Tang takes a look and then leaves it for Bortuzzo. Skates around Purcell, goes up the boards where that is met and held by Fane. Back into the corner, Purcell to Roy. Back to Keith Ollie. Ollie takes a drive, bouncing puck, and Fleury sees it and hangs on just past the midway point of the third period at Rexall. You're watching Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey. Back at Rexall Place. Face-off in the Oilers zone. Sidney Crosby, just his 4th game that the local fans have been able to come out to the rink and watch him play. What have they seen?
Well, you know what? It hasn't been a typical offensive game by Crosby. He's had the puck a lot. He's created some good chances. At the end of the night, he's got himself 1 point on this one. A nice little dish pass on the Perron goal. But on the Edmonton Oilers, I'm feeling pretty good about the way I've been able to contain him. But the problem is both he and Malkin with a point each, and that's been the difference, a 2-0 lead.
It's 597th game tonight. Puck bounces up in the air to the line, and it's held by Letang. Letang, nice little move to get it down low. The one-time feed out in front. Knocked down back into the corner, and here's Klefbom with a chance to get it away. Hard around the boards. Everly is there. Leaves it for Nugent Hopkins at center. They'll chip it around Letang and head in there with Pacarino. Nugent Hopkins is winning. First game against the Penguins in his career. That one goes off a skate up towards Fleury, who hangs on and pulls that one down.
And you go back to October 9th, 2011. And first game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. In on the doorstep, a rebound. He gets his second chance on it for his first ever National Hockey League goal. You expect many more from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
First of 18 goals that year, 52 points in just 62 games, remember. Tied for first with rookie points with Gabriel Landeskog that year.
He lost the Calder battle against Landeskog.
Despite the fact that he missed all that time. Here's Malkin straight up the middle, and Petrie corrals that bouncing puck. Well, a hard charge against Evgeny Malkin. Into the corner goes Yakupov. In there against the Brave. Wins that puck battle. Out in front of his own net. Fleury will save. A good blocker stop of a dangerous pass in front of the Pittsburgh net. And Fleury failed to space out, but they're still buzzing around him. Back towards the net. That shot goes wide. Ferris waits for it. Took a look to his right. Goes back into the corner. Here's Roy. Trying to send it out in front. That goes off the skate of Malkin. Roy back with it. Late man coming. Petrie in there. Fleury steps up and makes the stop.
Here's the shift that you're looking for. The possession shift in the offensive zone. Good cycle down low and a couple of great saves by Fleury. Otherwise, we got ourselves a game.
Here comes Petrie. Skates in there again. Little flip pass over to himself, but it was in too tight. Fleury got it with a poke check. Now Fraser gets the puck back. He's got a lane, and he overskated the puck. Oilers back in there. There's always shot knocked down by Downey. Lasang into the corner. Up the sideboard. Arcabello can't get it past Lander, who sends it back in. Everything's out there right now with Fraser and Lander.
That's the most turnovers we've seen from the Penguins. It's been the pressure of the Oilers. 5 or 6 in the last 2 shifts alone that have kept the heat on in the offensive zone.
Penguins have been sitting on this too lately.
That's where you're on the bench. You got to come back. That next shift really important. You got 2 really good shifts where you probably deserve a goal, but you got to keep that pressure up.
Pass down the ice, off the stick of Adams, and in there on Fost. Fost, who thought he had a 1-0 game, but David Perron scored in the final second of the second period. Here, can't sweep it in there. The Oilers dump it back in. 6:50 to go. Fleury plays the puck into the corner. Lapierre. Down is 15 to the NHL to the line, and that comes out. Hand pass. Play is whistled down.
Well, probably the best offensive push we've seen from the Oilers this whole game, and it came off of good pressure down low, forcing some turnovers, good active sticks. Fleury in a tough position in front, able to get his body in position. Derek Roy with a nice cross-seam pass. Petrie really with not much net to work with, though. Look how quickly Fleury was across, got square to the shot, and Petrie's had himself a really nice game. He's played very effectively. And the delay here, Sidney Crosby is slowing things down. There's a veteran move as the momentum was going the Oilers' ways, giving them a little bit of time to cool down.
Top line, back of the ice for Edmonton. Nugent-Hopkins and Emery along with Eero Pakarinen. See if they can maintain the momentum that they built the last couple of shifts. Kept in by Crosby. Crosby had it knocked off his stick, and the Oilers come away. Everly down the left side now, trying to chip it around Letang. Dupre is back here. Here comes Pakarinen with a big hit on Simon Dupre. And that drives the puck free, but now here comes David Perreault's got a goal tonight. And cut around Clefbaum. Clefbaum to center and right back in. Bouncing puck handled by Fleury. Leads the full tag as the Oilers change in the block. Derek Roy's line comes back out against Hopkins. On pass, trying to find Spaulding into the middle. Here's Purcell at center. Saw Malkin, and puck bounces right over to Derek Roy. Roy drops it off for Petrie. Keeps it ahead, trying to get it to Yakupov. Roy trying to get away from Patrick Holmquist. Spaulding following up. And Ferris gets it away. Now wide side for Roy. Turns it over momentarily to Malkin, and now the Penguins have it again. Here comes the veteran defenseman Paul Martin. Martin shoots, and Foss makes the save. Martin goes to get his own rebound. Into the corner he goes along with Ferris and Derek Roy. at the center, comes Edmonton. This is Purcell. Making some moves, and the puck rolls in on Fleury, who
Pause.
checked out
My
of the way.
Click Studio. One notification. YouTube. Now. Charles Cornell. The Severance theme is so perfectly written. It's insane. Attachment. Swipe up to unlock. Swipe up to current position. Waveform. One waveform. Notification. YouTube. Now. Charles Cornell. The Severance theme is so replay pop.
Drops it off in tight quarters to Lander. Lander gets it free for Matt Fraser. Down to the boards. In front he goes, and this is taken over by Downey. Here's Downey. Knocked down by Clifton. Jordan Everly squeezed there by Scuderi, and the puck rolls to Zach Sill, and now with Terry. 4 minutes to go for the Oilers to try to get one on the board, make it an interesting finish.
Screen lock.
Pittsburgh hold on. As Cooney's Petrie got tangled up, play continues to play, looking for that one in his skates. And Petrie slowly back up on his feet. After that off was closing in the corner.
Well, Graham Skelder was right there as the official, and obviously deemed it was coincidental contact. That was a dangerous play, though, for Petrie going head first.
Roy Rogers with his in and kind of slugged it out in front and just couldn't get it in there as the Penguins sent it back in with 3.5 to go.
Hendricks is going after David Perron, and now is not the time.
Right in front of the Oilers bench, Bortuzzo comes in and throws a punch at Matt Hendricks. These two teams both will fight a lot.
At times you get a sense of what teammates were really like when they played together, and Hendricks didn't hesitate going after Perron there, and Bortuzzo jumped into his aid.
Some edge to the game as we go down the stretch with 3:23. Petrie on the bench, shaking it off. This is what happened moments ago as he got tripped up by Cooney.
Shake it off.
Edmonton, Matt Hendricks and Bortuzzo, coincidental minors for roughing. They're both in the box, and there is Eero Pakarinen. We don't know how long he's going to be a Tanner Hall spot. What have you seen tonight?
Well, I think when you look at the Edmonton Oilers here, it's about development, and there's an opportunity for a player who's proven at the American League level that he can compete, and I think this has been a pretty good game for him. You got an opportunity to play on the top line. What do you got to do? You got to get in, you got to play your body, use your size. He's created a couple of scoring chances. He's been physical when he had to. And although it hasn't been a great offensive game, obviously, for this Oiler team yet, I think he's fit in quite nicely.
Originally a draft pick, a 7th round pick of Florida. A few years ago, 2011. Never really got an opportunity there. And now he's with the Oilers and played very well in the NHL. Simon Dupre had to go off the base of the net, and he comes to the far point. Corralled by Schultz, moves it across to Klefbom. 3 minutes to go. Klefbom looks across, gives it to Schultz, gets it back towards the net, and that is easy pickings for Marc-Andre Fleury.
And that was one where Victor Fast was ready to come to the bench, too, and I think that's one you'd like to hold on and pass around a little bit more. That's a snapshot that goes right to Fleury, and he's able to hold it. But mission accomplished for the Oilers. They get an offensive zone face-off, 2:53, down by 2. Not a bad choice in this case to play it like a power play 5-on-4. What you have to do here, though, is pressure up. Don't allow the Penguins easy access to the line.
Pakarinen is out on the ice along with Roy, and he wins the draw to Petrie. Petrie back out there as well. Here's Pakarinen now. 5-on-4 with the net empty. Goes across, and that was into the skates there of Yakupov. This is Nelson's second unit power play. Out of the corner comes Roy. Goes back down low. Fraser with a quick take on Fleury with a good stop on Matt Fraser. Oilers retain possession. On the half wall, there's a shot. It goes off a skate. Loose puck. Off the boards and out. Just out of the reach of Petrie. Has to give chase.
That was an example there. Pakarinen didn't wait for that puck to come out. Forced the pressure. Forced the bad pass. And the Oilers able to retain the puck.
Petrie fires that one in there. Couple of personnel changes out in front. There is Everly trying to get it to Roy, who's knocked down after he gets that first shot across. Yakupov with another laser beam shot, and that one missed the net. Here's Yakubov again. One-timer over the glove of Fleury. He starts hitting the net. He might have something. Petrie chops to that one. 1:40 to go. Martin takes a look, finds a lane, and drifts it down the ice where Schultz picks it up. Here's Lander now. Lander makes one move. Schultz follows up. 6 seconds to go. This 5-on-4 opportunity. Here's Schultz. In for Nugent Hopkins towards the net. Now it's 6-on-5. As the penalty is all over. Net is empty, and Crosby's got the puck. Gets to center ice. Hits the wall. And moving that block by Schultz to keep the game alive. 1:07 to go. Here comes Klefbom. His shot blocked right in front of him by Dupre. He charges in the air. Now the final minute of regulation. Dupre shovels this one down there, and is definitely going to miss the net, and that is icing. Dupre shovels this one down there, and is definitely going to miss the net, and that is icing. Against Pittsburgh.
Awesome. Good
icing against Pittsburgh.
0%. Awesome. Good setup and good opportunities for the Oilers to cut it. Awesome. Good setup and good opportunities for the Oilers to cut it to one. And here you've got some direction from one. Derek Roy telling you where you want the puck. A little curl and drag. A play down low, and Fraser gets where you want the puck. A little curl and drag. A play down low, and Fraser gets a chance where Fleury was moving to his right, just barely missed. This game definitely would have been over here had it not been a nice job of Schultz coming back on Sidney Crosby, blocking that shot with his stick.
Timeout called by Todd Nelson, drawn up the plate.
Now for the Edmonton Oilers, you know you just have to get pucks and take away the eyes of the goaltender.
Timeout. Here comes Klefbom. His shot blocked right in front of him by Dupre. He charges in here on the final thing. Against Pittsburgh. Definitely going to miss the net. Dupre shovels this one down there, and it's definitely going to miss the net. And icing against Pittsburgh.
Awesome. Good setup and good opportunities for the Oilers to cut it to one. And here you've got some awesome good setup and good opportunities for the Oilers to cut it to one. And here you've got some direction from one. Derek Roy telling you where you want the puck. A little curl and drag. A play down low, and Fraser gets a chance where Fleury was moving to his right, just barely missed. This game definitely would have been over here had it not been a nice job of Schultz coming back on Sidney Crosby, blocking that shot with his stick.
Timeout called by Todd Nelson, drawn up the play. The Oilers will not play at home again until February 18th. After this 6-game road trip, the Boston Bruins will be in town. For them return to Rexall. The team that's picking it up in the East.
Lots of discussion on both benches here, what to do off the face-off. And right now for the Edmonton Oilers, you know you just have to get pucks in front of Fleury. Fleury's seen the puck very well tonight. He's been able to battle through it. And if you win the draw as an Oiler, somebody's got to get right in front and take away the eyes of the goaltender.
49.1 on the clock. Face off to the right of Fleury, and Derek Roy settles in to take it to the clock. 49.1 on the clock. Face off to the right of Fleury, and Derek Roy settles in to take it. Everly is out there. Net remains empty, obviously, for the Oilers. And the play to the right of Fleury, and Derek Roy settles in to take it. Everly is out there. Net remains empty, obviously, for the Oilers. And the Penguins control off the draw, center on the board. And this is for Nugent Hopkins, chips it in there, goes into the corner. Fleury is there, and this is Schultz now knocking it down, and then kicked it into the zone.
Just looked up to try to make the play as he knocked it the first time, and a little bit of bad luck there.
20 seconds to go. Already play,
but couldn't play it.
Nugent Hopkins on the ice, win 2-0 to do it. As Petrie looked, couldn't get the shot away.
Video in the second intermission. They're not going to be very happy about the one Russian call. It's a call that McNamee got for
ends up in the back of the Oilers net.
125.
And instead of a one-goal game, it's a two-goal deficit.
Right side because he felt catching the puck on his off wing, just that slight stride that you have to break in order to do it was putting him behind Crosby, and they wanted him a step faster. Dave?
Well, it's working. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals in this, his 13th game with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Greg.
I don't think there's any question that his game has sped up since going to the Penguins. I think one of the issues in playing with Leon Draisaitl early was that line as a group stopped skating. Did a lot of standing still, and when you get with Crosby, you're forced to get to another level.
The Oilers getting Klinkhammer and a first-round draft pick in exchange for Perron early January.
I think Klinkhammer will be a player they'll be trying to sign.
Coming up.
I mean, and then 4 left. The bounce was a disappointing one off the stick and then off the skate of Hornquist, but that last one was a killer.
I want to remind you that there's a big game just down the road that is just starting in Calgary. The San Jose Sharks and the Flames. That is on Sportsnet 1 right now. There's 2 points between those two in the Pacific Division, and we will join that game on Sportsnet when this one is complete here in Edmonton. To play together. So once he's
1 hour 4 minutes. 1 hour 4 minutes.
Crosby, a good drawn assist on the line.
0%
Here's get it past. Flurry. Around here is Barris. Into the corner for Jeff Petrie. Backs up, puts it towards it.
The best chance for the Penguins on this third period was a no-look pass out of the corner. Ference absorbs the hit. Everybody looking at the puck, and it's Downey coming off the bench. That was the dangerous man. And Boyd Gordon typically playing hard minutes. There's another one right off the instep here, and he went gingerly back to the Edmonton Oilers bench after blocking that one.
See Downey in his first season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Having that unique blend of touches and a little bit of offensive touch as well.
More options.
Here's Schultz back to the line. Headball shot. Saves over that. Loose puck picked up. Yakupov swirling around. Here is Barris. Into the corner for Jeff Petrie. Backs up, puts it towards the net. And that one is handled easily by Marc-Andre Fleury.
The best chance for the Penguins on this third period was a no-look pass out of the corner. Ference absorbs the hit. Everybody looking at the puck, and it's Downey coming off the bench. That was the dangerous man. And Boyd Gordon typically playing hard minutes. There's another one right off the instep here, and he went gingerly back to the Edmonton Oilers bench after blocking that one.
See Downey in his first season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. First having that unique blend of touches and a little bit of offensive touch as well. Here's that.
And Boyd Gordon typically playing hard. Pass out another one. The dangerous man, and gingerly back to the Edmonton Oilers bench after blocking that one.
See Downey in his first season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Having that unique blend of touches and a little bit of offensive touch as well. Here's Schultz back to the line. Headball shot. Sails over that. Loose puck picked up. Wraparound is in by Macarena. And goes back to the line. Schultz wide shoots and just missed. Good puck shot there by Schultz. Here's Macarena now. Top line of the ice for the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins. Evelyn throws it back for Klefbom. Took a look across, and then steps around Downey and steps in. Klefbom to the net, kicked out by Fleury. Here is Eero Pakarinen. Just called up yesterday and inserted onto the top line for the Oilers in the absence of Hall.
Time.
Pakarinen waits. Still turns towards the net and spot ready for that. Makes the stop and hands up.
What?
Tune into Sportsnet tomorrow night to catch the New York Islanders as they visit the Philadelphia Flyers. That starts at 7 Eastern. Pittsburgh Penguins entered tonight 1 point back of the Islanders for top spot in the Metropolitan Division. That old barn 1 point back of the Islanders for top spot in the Metropolitan Division. Goes Barn along at home.
It's over and back. I think the importance here for the Edmonton Oilers is a much better defensive play. You mentioned the Calgary Flames problem, 30th in the year last year, but the Edmonton Oilers were 27th, and this is a team that needs to be a much better defensive team. And Jim, I think Cam Talbot in goal for the Oilers has got to be a guy who gets off to a great start. It was not a good October, November for him last year, and he's going to have to be much more solid for the shifts.
By the end of November, these teams were 13th and 14th.
It's Calgary. I think the importance here for the Edmonton Oilers is a much better defensive play. You mentioned the Calgary Flames problem, 30th in the year last year, but the Edmonton Oilers were 27th. And this is a team that needs to be a much better defensive team.
In October. Yes, it's
Current weight
since
swipe
October
up current
28th.
replay.
Very much like
Veteran pause.
Don't you think they got out of the gate so fast? Fleury did as well, 19 in the first 25. And this team hasn't been scoring as well, and they haven't been defending as well lately.
Team has been shut out in 2 of its last 3 games. That is very unpenguin-like.
5 games in the year they've been shut out. Last 2 years combined, a total of 6. So very unpenguin-like with right.
At home. That one goes up and into the Oilers' point of the overtime.
2 notifications. Sportsman. Collapsed stat. Now, NHL news. Predators Roman Josi day-to-day with upper body injury. Still being evaluated. Attachment. Sportsman. Now, NHL news. Predators Roman Josi day-to-day with upper body injury. Still being evaluated. Attachment.
Just an all-around 200-foot game for these Flames.
What do you think he's looking for by splitting up Giordano and TJ Brody? That was such a good pair.
Well, I think they're just trying to get as much depth as you can. And here's a backhand by Boyd.
0% vertically scrolled.
This team hasn't been scoring as well, and they haven't been defending as well lately.
Team has been shut out in 2 of its last 3 games. That is very unpenguin-like.
5 games in the year they've been shut out. Last 2 years, with one of the 5 to the Pittsburgh.
Saturday night. And that is whistled down to the Penguins'
Tie a ribbon on the scoring woes of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the 5 worst stretches of his career. And his career has been built on consistency and point production. 5th best points per game in the National Hockey League history. And the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. Alarmingly, one of the 5 worst stretches of his career. And his career has been built on consistency and point production. 5th best points per game in the National Hockey League history. And this has been a rough stretch for him.
Did get his 800th career point this season. There's Nugent Hopkins who trips one over the glove of Fleury. 143. Couple of good opportunities at either end. Still no score nearing the midway point of the first period. And this is coming back to the stick to out left with the ice. 9.5 to go here at Red Salt.
NHL into the first one. This first back on November 24th, 1987. Craig Simpson, who had 13 goals in his first 21 games with the Penguins, was traded to the Oilers, where he scored 43 in the next 59. Craig, you are a member of a very select club with Dave Andrechuk, who happened to him on February 2nd, 93, from Buffalo to Toronto.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a dubious distinction or not, but I guess guys who usually score don't get traded.
Zach still carries it in.
Order saved by Andre Nielsen with 1:31 to go in overtime.
I think it's really important here for Calgary to not pass up shots. You mentioned the nervousness. I thought Talbot in the first period had it as well. Monahan and Gaudreau looking for a little bit of opening down low. The rebound was there for a split second. And unlike the first goal of the game, watch Talbot here. He's able to close the pads at the last second. It was there, and then quickly able to get on that puck.
Still.
Justin Schultz had a strong game Monday night against the San Jose Sharks. He moved it up the forwards. Packer right in, lifted the stick to allow that puck to get away to Klefbom. Back into the middle. There's the back check by the veteran, Chris Kunitz. And Peterson. That pass too far. Taken over by the Penguins. Now it's center ice. Back in the hands of the Oilers. Clip-on goes across to Petrie. Back over here to Hendricks. To Clinkham. Very stacked up behind his of the first period.
Big save, but not necessarily by the goaltender. Francis Davidson made the best one.
And Johnny Gaudreau will be thinking himself, he's watching it on the big screen now. He's got himself a tap in. If he doesn't celebrate what he thinks is a goal, he thinks his rebound is going in. Look, he's got a stick in the air. He followed it in, he created the rebound, stick in the air, and the puck's right there. And the heads up, Brandon Davidson on one knee, able to get to that puck before Gaudreau did, and he's disappointed with himself right now.
Pretty good looking power play so far. They'll turn it over to a second unit. TJ Brody. On the other side to Weidman. Sam Bennett moves in and shoots his own man who's in front of the net.
//www.
Closer to the on the second.
Oilers by 2-2. Here's Darren Malone. Junior for Texas and Chicago with his third game. Just like the first game, they'll be 2 up second the way they played. 20-9 with the shots in Texas' favor in the second period. They still got 2 goals. Let's see what they've got into the third. Watch all those exhibition games we saw with the NHL in 2000. Let's have to do it tonight.
Settings window. At the tail end of the section. And for Victor Foss, he's trying to gather it. It looked like trying to push it past where the traffic was, and he just didn't get all of it. And I think partly because it was a settings window. Help with soundproof. Show all settings. From the tang, you just put your head down and shoot as hard as you can. Settings window. Get help. And it ends up in the back of the Oiler net. And instead of a one-goal game, it's a 2-goal deficit inside because he fell catching the puck on his
wing. Just that slight stride that
Enter
you
English.
have to break
Pause keyboard
in
shortcut.
order to do it was putting him behind Crosby.
0%
and they
vertically
wanted
scroll.
him a step faster. Dave?
Well, it's working.
Crosby, and they wanted him a step faster.
All right,
Dave?
for his shootout.
Well, it's working. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals, and this is
Speed is 0.2.
with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Greg. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals.
Dave, putting him behind Crosby, and they wanted him a step faster. Dave?
Well, it's working. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals, and this is a goal game. It's a 2-goal deficit.
Right side, because he fell catching the puck on his off wing. Just that slight stride that you have to break in order to do it was putting him behind Crosby, and they wanted him a step faster. Dave?
Well, it's working. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals, and this is 13th game.
Connor McDavid.
800. 0% vertical scroll. Play keyboard shortcut. Address in search bar. New keyboard shortcut.
From the tang, you just put your
0%
head down and
vertical.
shoot as hard as you can. And it ends up in the back of the Oiler net.
And instead of a 1-goal game, it's a... And instead of a 1-goal...
Just that
Crosby.
Complimentary YouTube video player. 0% vertically scroll.
What a slight strike. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Game, it's a 2-goal deficit.
The Oiler net stride that you have to break in order to do it was putting him behind Crosby, and they wanted him a step faster. Dave?
Well, it's working. Thank you, Elliot. That is 7 goals in this, his 13th game.
827 goals scored in large hockey arena with large crowd reaction. YouTube and 4 more pages. Personal. 10.
Adam Larson. 1-0 here in the second round of the shootout.
With the Pittsburgh Penguins, Greg.
I don't think they can make the play in order to do it.
Another turnover. Tyler Pitlick takes advantage.
In order to do it, was
the check's back
Complimentary
off.
copy. 10 minutes 20, 10 minutes 30, 10 minutes 40 seconds at current value 600, 10 minutes 42 seconds at 1 hour 41 minutes 11 seconds.
This is his 13th game with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Greg.
I don't think there's any question that his game has
10 minutes.
up behind Crosby. And they
0% vertically scroll.
Stop by Andres Nielsen.
Banner ban. 827 0% vertical.
wanted him to step faster. Dave?
Well, it's
YouTube
working.
video play.
Thank you, Elliot. That is, and instead of a 1-goal game, it's a 2-goal deficit.
Sidney Crosby.
827 goals scored in large hockey arena with large crowd reaction. YouTube and 4 more pages. Personal Microsoft Edge.
Ties the game here in the third round.
And instead of a 1-goal game, it's off the 2-goal deficit.
Right side, because shoot as hard as you can.
and it ends up
complimentary.
Tang. And the Penguins win it. The final score.
Volume. You keep
3-2. Pittsburgh.
seeks. Play keyboard. 1 hours 20. 1 hours to current value 5. 1 hours 28 minutes. 1 hours 30. 1 hours.
From a clean sheet. Leads the league already with
0% vertically scroll.
The circle of his score progression is one of the coolest score progressions around. There are some videos.
820.
His confidence, and as you look ahead, Mike Johnson said he's not sure exactly who's going to start on Friday, but the way this game has been, I can't imagine going into a tough place like Calgary. You wouldn't play him. It's a big emotional win for Fleury to get back on track.
Face-off goes into the corner. Wayne Brave Fleury. And the Penguins kick off their 3-game Western Canadian road trip with a nice little 2-point.
Mike Johnson looking for a reboot. He got it. A good energy game by the Penguins.
3 stars for the Knights as Fleury gets congratulations all around here on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey. 35th shutout of Marc-Andre Fleury's career. As mentioned, he leads the league now with 7. Already did with 6. Tim Petrie had a solid night for the Oilers, star number 2. And Chris Letang had another assist for his team. Already a